Hello, welcome to this podcast. And my name is SeeWing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. And my guest co-host is Mr. Richard Advani from Supreme Lending, who has been doing investment loan financing for many real estate investors in all 50 states. And today's topic is one of the biggest obstacles to achieve real estate investing success, and is a four-letter word. And the four-letter word is FEAR, fear. Now, before we will go over the subject matter, let me give you a analogy. Okay. So, Richard, what sport do you follow? What, or you watch sports over the years, and if so, what type of sports do you watch?
Basketball generally.
Okay, anything else?
Racing.
Okay, yeah, I noticed that. Okay, myself, I've been watching. I'm a lot older than you, Richard. I've been watching many different sports ever since I was a preteen, actually, when I was growing up in Philadelphia. I've been watching NBA basketball for 50 years. I've been watching college basketball for 50 years, and NFL football and college football for the past 50 years, and even Major League Baseball. Well, not recently, because Major League Baseball has been too boring. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, let's look at all those professional athletes, right? Let's break it down to NBA basketball. So there are 32 teams. Each teams have 12 players. So we're talking they're around maybe like 400. There are a total of 400 NBA basketball players. Let's break it even further. Okay, in high school, right, people play high school basketball. There are millions of kids playing high school basketball. Then when they enter college basketball and play college basketball, there are like 300 college teams, basketball teams, and each team have maybe 15 players. We're talking like 4,000 to 5,000 college basketball players, right, every year to play major Division I college basketball. Then out of those 4,000 players, 60 of those college basketball players get drafted by the NBA, right? 30 of them in first round, and the other 30 players can be drafted in the second round of the NBA draft, right? So out of the top 30 players get drafted in first round, would you agree, Richard, that maybe half of them in the first year will do okay, play a few minutes here and there. Maybe like 5 of those players, they start in the first year. 5 of the 30 players, they start in the first year, and give them 3-4 years out of that year's NBA draft. 1, maybe 2 of those players become an all-star. Am I right so far?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So think about it. So we take it for granted. What makes this professional athlete become successful? We're talking, at the end of the day, 1% of those basketball players, when they started out in high school, they become a professional athlete, and thus they're making millions of dollars. We're talking 1%, right? Same thing with Major League Baseball, right? There are whatever. Same thing with NFL football, right? There are 32 teams. Each team have 50 players, right? We're talking 1,500 NFL professional football players in the league. So in a nation here in the US of 350 million people, only a handful, only a few hundred, few thousand become professionals. So when you look at this professional athlete, we have a lot of, as fans, right? We take it for granted. Oh, they have physical talent. Yeah, that helps, having physical talent, right? They have a good DNA. They were born to become a great athlete. But that's not only that makes this players become good, they have to have something that are beyond physical. They have the mental capacity. They need, they need a tremendous amount of commitment, discipline, and a lot of actual work to become successful where they are, right? I mean, so what, okay, let's get to the point, right? Let's get to the point. What are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, you should admire these professional athletes, okay? They have endured so much to be successful, and so few of them become truly successful, right? So let's talk about real estate investors. I don't know about you, Richard, but Richard, you do investment loans. I mean, you're thinking, oh, I get a lot of investors that I'm doing loans with every single day, every single month. But for every investment loans you do, Richard, there are at least 100 of them have not reached that level. They, because of fear, they have not taken the first step, take action, go through you or any loan agent for that matter to get the financing to buy their first or subsequent investment properties. So let's break it down. My investment club, right, which I've been doing for the past 15 years, right? I have several thousand so-called members, real estate investors that look at my videos and educational contents every single week, right? Free, our members. And then I look at my competitors, my colleagues, also own a real estate investment club. For example, there are a whole bunch of them in California where I live in San Francisco Bay Area. There are some investment clubs, they have 50,000 members, right, in their organization. And their members, just like my members, they watch content, they watch free webinars and podcasts, just like what we do right now, Richard. And typically, out of the 50,000 members in a typical investment club, there are, located where less than 1% of their members actually take action. I know that for a fact. And my investment club is no different. A mere 1% actually buy investment property through my network. So what you're asking, why, SeeWing and Richard, right now is the greatest time to buy. Appreciation is in record high. Interest rate is record low. People are getting tremendous amount of equity and cash flow, buying different markets, especially in South and Southwest. Why only a handful are doing this, even though clearly, real estate investing is a multi-dimensional, historical, proven asset. More people have become wealthy over the years through real estate than any other investment, right? We know that you're not, right, Richard? I mean, you and I have been, this is our profession. This is what we do. And we see that with our own personal fortune as well as helping investors and other people like us that are doing very well. And yet, the people that doesn't buy, it doesn't mean they don't qualify. They don't have enough money, right? And many of them have lots of money. Our investors, my members, are located in San Jose, the heart of the Silicon Valley. My several thousand members, they have money. They are engineers, they are medical professionals, they are high income earners. And yet I track my members and other investment clubs throughout the country, not in California, track their members. Less than 1% actually take that plunge. So it's not about physical ability. It's not about having a financial means to do that. It's what's inside your head. The biggest obstacle is fear, F-E-A-R. So the massive amount of fear, doesn't matter how much education you're getting, how much podcasts, how much real estate stuff you learn over the years, still come down to the 1%. So I have my reasons, right? People when they start growing up, when they're young, real estate investing or never in their mindset because they're not taught that way. Their parents are grow up poor. Real estate is just something not on their mind. So for years, most Americans into their adulthood, they don't invest. They are poor. They are I mean, they make money, don't get me wrong, but they don't invest properly. They just don't get it. So what, Richard? I mean, you've been doing this for many years as well. So, what is your take? What are your thoughts about why still in this crazy great opportunity that we see the university investing right now? Not just right now, right? Over time, it's never the wrong time to buy real estate, but right now, such a great time to make so much money in real estate. Why still so few of them take the next level? Go ahead, Richard. What are your thoughts?
And yeah, good point so far. I would say it really comes down to the same reason those people don't invest in anything, right? A lot of times I'll see people that are afraid to invest in real estate, have most of their money in a checking or savings account, maybe a mutual fund, and that's their version of investing. And that comfort level investing for them. And like you said, that mindset may come from, not growing up in a business-minded family or whatever it may be, not ever having the opportunity to invest, that saving money was investing, but it's not, as we know. Once you factor in inflation versus savings accounts rates, most of the time you're actually losing money. But it's tough to tell why people sit on the sidelines. But what I do know is once they buy that first piece of real estate and they make that first investment and they're able to rationalize everything and be comfortable as they need, then they start moving very quickly. But what you and I both noticed is we have some clients that, it's been 5 years and they're still on the sidelines and they can't get over that fear. And not being able to get over that fear is costing them money. It's costing them lots of money, given that the market keeps improving and obviously cash flow and everything else that they could have been receiving until now. So as you stressed, it's very important for people to get off the sidelines. Real estate historically is always going to keep going up. So trying to find that right time to buy it, it's always the right time if you're looking long term and you're doing your diligence and making the right investments. So,
yeah, Richard. One more thing. I have a technical term for people. Is the money blueprint. Okay. Again, most people are conditioned. They've been programmed for their lifetime to think certain way. In fact, most of the belief system was created when somebody are very young, age 4, age 5, age 6. They already have been programmed at a very young age about certain beliefs that they are taught, and that's all they know. So money management are no different. When as a young person, your experience in your household, in your surroundings, pretty much shape your financial future when you becoming an adult. When you becoming an adult, all what you don't know is what you don't know. Is a mental game. You are so paralyzed with the way you are taught about money, right? And that is very hard to overcome that mentality, the money blueprint, right? So 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 what I found over the years is that in order to overcome that money negative blueprint programming that that was inside someone's brain at a young age, that's not going to change for the rest of their lives unless they make a conscious effort to reprogram their thinking, to change their money blueprint, right? So until they make a transformational, philosophical, spiritual, if you will, psychological change in the way they think, they can never become not only a risk investor, to be successful financially, like they need to be, like they could, like they should be, right? So you have anything to add to the money, psychological personality, financial behavior? You have any additional thoughts, Richard, about what I just said?
No, other than, we live in the instant gratification time of the world where, anything we want is at our fingertips. If we want food, we can order it. If we want to pull up some sort of media on our phone, we can do it. And a lot of people have kind of adopted that into, also, in building wealth and being successful is it's supposed to happen overnight, and it doesn't. And, I think with social media, a lot of people, get caught up in the, rags to riches overnight. And as you know, and as most of us know that have more real world experience, that's not real, and that's not realistic. And that's the one off. That's the sport athlete or someone that hits the lottery or someone, but that's not realistic for most people. And I think everyone needs to look at it from a long-term perspective, look at wealth building from a long-term perspective. Everyone's chasing crypto and all these random stocks right now because they're going to make a huge return in a short period of time. Well, it's funny because what I've seen is a lot of the people that were so conservative that they didn't invest in anything are now investing in this crazy stuff where, it's like, and I have friends and family will show me, oh, well, I made, 60% in the last 3 months on this crypto or on this stock. And what they don't realize is if they would have invested in real estate, something secure, that's not almost gambling, they would have made 60% in the last couple of years. And it would have been tax-free, and it would have been secured by a tangible asset that, you can sell or you can rent out, and that's actually generating an income. And what most people don't realize when they think about real estate is they're like, oh, well, I want to look at, how much, what percentage return I can make in 4 or 5 years. And they're generally comparing that to the actual value of the asset, right? To appreciation, when they're comparing it to stocks, for example. Well, I made this amount in my stock portfolio. Well, that's great. Is your stock portfolio actually giving you any terms of an income? And other than small dividends and stuff, it's not most of the time. And that's one thing you need to factor in is that real estate's giving you an income, it's appreciating, but also you have your return on amortization. As you get rent and you make your mortgage payment, you're paying down your balance 2, 3, 4, 500 a month, which adds another 3-4% to your rate of return. And that's what builds the wealth, right? Someone else paying the interest and paying down your mortgage. And the beauty is, in a lot of scenarios, you're still going to have some cash left on top, that you can either spend, or as we talked about, building wealth is a slow, steady process. So send it back to the mortgage, pay it off quicker. That way, when you do retire, instead of getting 400 a month, 500 a month positive cash flow, you're getting 1,600 a month because everything's paid off. So get off the sidelines and, do your diligence and make some good investments, because money in a savings account is losing money with inflation.
That's right, Richard. Thank you for your great thoughts. I know, Richard, you work with my investment club, and you work with many other risk investment clubs that are far larger than my database. So you see what's happening. You've been doing investment loans in all the good markets in this country, mainly South and Southeast, as you know, right? A lot of investment loans you're doing in Texas and Florida, mainly, and South and Southeast, right? That's the highest growth with the best cash flow and what have you. But it's just mind-boggling. Look, a typical financial profile of my member, if you will, it's not that they don't have the money. Okay, I created this investment club to make it easy for everybody to invest. I've done my investment club. I've done most of the research and due diligence. The property is already available. I mean, they are turnkey. They are off market. They are not in the open multiple listing service. You don't have to do multiple bidding against other buyers that will compete against you for the house. We have a silver platter of homes in many various markets, right? To give it to you as an investor. All you gotta do is take it. You don't have to do that much more research. We've done it for you. I mean, you turnkey, you have property management, you have lender like you doing the loans, you have the in-house one-stop shop turnkey under one umbrella, under a network. I mean, we have reduced your risk of investing dramatically. I mean, a lot of our investors, like I say, come from California. You guys making so much money, you have so much money, couple $100,000 of cash, $300 of IRA. Your salary is like $100, $150, $200 salary, and still only 1% of you are doing it. I mean, some of our cheaper property, turnkey properties, for $60,000 in Buffalo, Niagara Falls, you do a financing for 20%. Out of pocket is only 15 grand total to get financing through you, as a matter of fact, right? To get this loan on a low purchase property, the risk is so low, 13 grand down payment to buy a income producing cash flow properties in some of our Midwest market properties and some of our other new construction properties in Florida and Texas, $250,000, $300,000 new builds. Yeah, still cash flow, but your out of pocket, a little bit more expensive. Your out of pocket is 60, 70, 80 grand. A lot of you have the money, but again, it's just, although I have some very, very good, serious investors, VIP investors that I've been working with, for those of you that have purchased, the few of you, you're buying 2 or 3 or 4 properties, right? Because you have a good experience buying the first rental, you'll probably get rented. Each property, as I said earlier, each property closing that we have within our property that we promote within our network, we see a 30, 40, or 50 rental applications just fighting to rent your one house after you close escrow. So, the occupancy rate is the lowest ever. Highest ever. The vacancy rate is almost zero. There's so many people are renting all over the U.S. because there's not enough homes to buy. Right? People are relegated to renting for the foreseeable future. Everything is ready. Everything ready for you guys to make money short term and long term. It's a matter by your first pull the trigger, take that risk. The risk has been the lowest I've ever seen for real estate investors. No matter where you buy, as long as you buy in a good market, that cash flow, they have a good trusted team that are helping you. So there's no reason why you need to overcome that small amount of risk, take the plunge, buy the first rental, and then once you have a good experience, most of you have a good experience already after one purchase, then you are motivated to buy a lot more. So that's the key. Take the first plunge. So I think that's pretty much conclude what I have to say. Richard, you have any final thoughts before we'll finish this podcast?
No. Other than I think it's good to end with that saying you said earlier, which I love, which is, you don't wait to invest in real estate. You invest in real estate and wait. Quote SeeWing. I love it. Right. I think that's a perfect way to end it.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard Advani. Thank you for your time, and thank you so much. We'll present again. Have a nice day. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.